I'll start you off, Elsa. Long ago, there was a tortured ice princess who decided to...
Thanks, Olaf. But this story begins shortly after my coronation.
Oh, good. Because I know that one, like the whole thing. Literally line for line.
Yes, well, after all the eternal winter stuff, you can imagine how important it was to me to be an excellent queen. I was afraid of messing up again, so I made sure to attend to all of my duties and said yes to everyone.
She did. Well, everyone except me.
Hey, that's not true.
Oh, it's a little true.
Fine, but only a little bit. Anyway, one day, very early in the morning...
Like, still dark outside early?
Yes. I had just finished reading and signing a huge pile of tedious documents and trade agreements when my chief advisor Kai came in to escort me into the village.
The stonemason said he could meet you at the bank tomorrow morning. You'll need to inspect the damaged path with him before he can start work.
All right.
Now, before the Harvest Festival, you should meet with the committee. They want your opinion on the new banner. Oh, and Princess Anna was hoping to see you for dinner this evening.
I'm sorry, but I can't. We have too much left to do.
Queen Elsa! Queen Elsa! A moment!
Yes, of course. Hello, Mrs. Wilt. How are you?
My neighbors want me to rip out the beautiful tree I planted. They say it's going to get too big. So, I wonder if you could...
Help you talk to them? Of course, Mrs. Wilt.
It might be difficult to squeeze that in today.
How about I stop by tomorrow afternoon?
Oh, that would be wonderful! Thank you, Your Majesty. Thank you!
What's that? The bell. I smell smoke. Everyone, there's a fire! Your Majesty, I'll call the fire brigade.
I'm on my way.
Oh, wait!
Get back! Is everyone all right?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
Oh, Your Majesty, the village story time is in 30 minutes, and you... Well, I'm sorry, but you smell of soot, and you look very, tired.
Oh, I'm sure I look awful. You're just being polite, Kai. Can we reschedule the Harvest Festival Committee for tomorrow?
Of course, Your Majesty.
Oh, great. I'll go back to the castle, clean up, change, and rest for 5 minutes. That way I can still read to the children. Just a short nap. Then I'll be back on my feet. Oh no! What time is it?
Elsa, it's okay.
No, it's not. I'm late. I'm supposed to read to the...
It's all right. I handled story time.
You did?
Yes, I took care of it. I can help, you know. You're not alone, and you don't have to do everything all by yourself.
And Anna was right. That's how I began to learn that no single person can do everything. Not even a queen. Oh, and naps are wonderful.
Wow! A story and a lesson all wrapped into one.
Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you again soon.
Wait, Elsa, before you get started, let's have one more round of hot cocoa, because there's a lot more left.
Good idea, Kristoff.
Okay, now I'm ready.
Well, Kristoff, have you ever heard of the Huldrefolk?
Well, sure. They're legends in the mountains.
Ooh, I've never heard of them, but I'd love to.
Then this tale is especially for you, Olaf. The Huldrefolk are fickle, unpredictable creatures.
That's not true. They're magical beings who find the things humans have lost and give them a home.
We are talking about a fairy tale, right?
Actually, if you think about it, everything's kind of a fairy tale until you see it. For instance, talking snowmen.
Excellent point, Olaf.
Where do the Huldra folk live, Elsa? I ask because I can't find my favorite bookmark, a leaf.
Well, it's said that they live among us, perfectly blending in with their surroundings. Their home is deep in the mountains, but they could be anywhere, anytime.
Does that mean they can see us right now? Oh, that's fascinating and just a little scary.
Oh, don't be worried, Olaf. When we were little, if Elsa or I misplaced a toy, Mother would comfort us by saying, "Some little Huldra child must have needed it more than you did."
So it's their fault that when I wash my socks, I always lose one.
You're so funny, Kristoff. You don't wash your socks.
Personally, I never liked the thought of some little creature following me, waiting for me to misplace my favorite toy so he could take it away forever.
My leaf bookmark? You mean I'll never see it again?
Oh, here. I found it, Olaf.
Oh, bookmark. I missed you. Let me give you a hug. Okay, Elsa, please continue. What do these Huldra folk look like?
Well, some say they look like little goblins.
No, they don't, Elsa. They're actually supposed to be very cute, with delicate pointed ears and...
I know your favorite part, the tails.
Like Sven's?
Technically, nobody knows. I used to have the Huldra folk page bookmarked in this big, thick encyclopedia, Creatures of Myth and Legend. It says that only Huldra women have tails, but they're very shy, so they always hide them under clothes or keep their backs from you.
Oh, that sounds adorable. I just love Huldra folk.
I don't know. Creatures of myth and legend? Doesn't sound very factual to me.
Says the boy raised by trolls.
Point taken. Elsa, you were saying?
Well, even if the Huldra folk mean well, their mischief can be dangerous to us. In the poem Ballad of the Hidden City, it says, "In dark caves neath the mount they hide, counting things you cast aside. If you meet the hidden folk, beware. 'Tis no small feat to leave their lair."
And if it rhymes, it must be true.
It only says that because their collection of lost things is so amazing, you'd never want to leave.
Speaking of lost things, where's my cocoa mug? I just put it down here a moment ago.
We hope you'll come back and visit us at the campfire again. You are welcome anytime.
Time ago, in the time before time, a great darkness swept over the land. There were no longer any days. There was only night. So the wolves howled and the bears growled. The people lived in fear, always on the run. Everyone was so busy surviving, they didn't have time to look for the light. Until one day, a courageous boy named Aaron decided to take action. Fearlessly, he left his people and ran into the wilderness. There's a famous poem about Aaron that starts, "Young as the morning, fierce as a twig, Aaron stepped into the wild."
We memorized it when we were little.
Now, according to legend, the only way to end the everlasting night was to free the sun by accomplishing 3 extraordinary tasks. Swim across an endless lake,
Then climb the highest mountain peak.
and move night itself to tears. No one had ever done it before. No one had even tried. But Aaron set off for the mountains, and after a few days, he found his path blocked by a huge dark lake. Aaron tried to swim across, but it was far, and no matter what he did, he couldn't keep his head above water. He made a raft, but it didn't float. Aaron knew the lake must be cursed. So he turned back and looked for another way to reach the mountains. Soon he came upon a magical waterfall. He spoke to the waterfall and proposed a wager. If he could walk through it without getting wet, the waterfall would grant him the power to breathe underwater. The waterfall laughed and accepted the wager. Then it waited for Aaron to walk through. Instead, he just sat down on the bank and camped. Aaron stayed right there, writing poetry until winter came. And then...
That's brilliant. An Iceman after my own heart.
You're right, Kristoff. After the waterfall was frozen solid, Aaron chiseled a tunnel through it. Then, in spring, when the waterfall melted, Aaron collected his reward. Now that he could breathe underwater, he crossed the lake with ease. But Aaron still had to scale the highest mountain in all the land. As he climbed, buzzards watched, waiting for him to fall. Finally, Aaron reached the summit. On the other side of the mountain, he could see the sun. It was day. Then night noticed Aaron and swooped down on him. Aaron pleaded with night for days, trying to prove that the people deserve the sun's light. Finally, he recited a poem he'd written, and it was so beautiful that night gave in and freed the sun. The grateful sun rose into the sky and joined with the moon. The revolving moon and spinning sun forged a crescent blade.
From light and dark within the heart, the shining sword was made.
The curving arc of Revolute shimmered in his hand.
Aaron raised it high above his head and smote the edge of land.
When he did, the earth opened and the sea rushed in, creating the very fjord where Arendelle stands today.
Wow. What does it all mean?
Well, it means what you would like it to mean. I like to think it means humanity's worth lies in creating works of truth and beauty.
I think she means you, Olaf.
Oh, you guys. Great story, Elsa. With a perfect ending.
We hope you'll come back and visit us at the campfire again. You are welcome anytime.
When our father was young, he accompanied Lieutenant Matthias on his rounds through the kingdom. However, the day didn't start out as exciting as father had hoped.
Matthias, how many arguments about selling ice do you have to solve every day?
One moment, Prince Agnon. Citizens, if you would both just calm down, I'm sure we can resolve this issue in a...
It's my ice! Lieutenant, arrest this hooligan!
How dare you! My family has sold ice for 5 generations in this exact spot!
How's this? Today, you sell here.
But, Lieutenant...
And you sell in that spot over there. Then tomorrow, switch. Alternate days. Well?
You know what? I've always admired the clarity of your ice.
And I love how you carve yours into little shapes.
Who knows? If sales are good, maybe we could even combine our stands.
See, there we go. Now you two have a nice day.
Wow, Matthias. How'd you do that?
People can be proud and stubborn. Sometimes you gotta nudge them towards the least worst option and hope they do the next right thing.
Huh. I'll have to remember that.
And after that experience, father definitely followed that rule whenever Anna and I got into arguments.
And it worked every time.
But their day wasn't over yet.
Why are we at the docks?
There's a ship full of folks asking to go into town. I thought it prudent to meet them first. Gentlemen, welcome to Arendelle. What can we help you with?
Just here for fresh supplies and a day on dry land.
Is that so?
Yup, we're merely humble merchants on a trading voyage.
Because I heard about a ship full of thieving raiders heading up the coast. Pirates who like to pillage luxury goods.
Oh dear. Oh, glad we didn't run into them.
And in my experience, merchants don't tend to wear so many knives or file their teeth into points.
How dare you slander my crew's sense of fashion? I've got half a mind to pillage this whole waterfront.
Ah, see? Gotcha.
Huh? Oh!
We'll send fresh water and foodstuffs to your ship. But I'm afraid I can't let your crew into town.
How generous of you. We thank you for the supplies, and we'll be off for the next wind.
You see, Agnar, we need to protect Arendelle, and we also need to welcome strangers. They'll leave this evening having been treated graciously, and with at least 2 naval ships tracking their every move.
You mean you knew the whole time?
Well, as a guard, I try to know about everything. But you also develop a sense for these things over time. Now, are you getting hungry? Because I am.
At the end of the day, the lieutenant and father decided to stop by the sweet shop to get some biscuits, but they were interrupted by a ghost.
Matthias, what's that?
It looks like a ghost. Ah! Hey! Come on! Hey! Calm down, people. It's just a reindeer who got caught in someone's laundry.
Wow, I never knew so much happened in Arendelle.
And one day you'll know all of it. When it's your time, you'll be a great king.
And he was.
The best.
Goodbye, new friend. We hope you'll come back again for more stories. Aw, that sounds cozy, Elsa. I just love lullabies.
Then I'm sure you'll especially love hearing about this one.
I'm surprised you remember that evening, Anna. As I recall, you fell asleep pretty fast.
Oh yeah, Mother's lullaby always had that effect on me. If I was tired, I'd hear 1 or 2 lines and I was out, snoring and drooling.
Yep, sounds about right. Well, back when we were children, Anna and I sometimes had trouble falling asleep, especially after hearing one of Father's stories. And one night, after he told us about the enchanted forest, someone just couldn't relax.
Oh, come on, I had so many questions, and he wouldn't let me ask even one. You know I didn't have that kind of patience back then.
Well, to help us sleep, our mother sang a song her mother used to sing to her when she was a child. It was about Atta Holland.
The magical river said to have all the answers?
That's right, the River of Memories.
Oh, I'd really like to go there because I too have questions. One of them being, why do I have so many questions?
That's how I felt when our mother first told us about Atta Holland. She would say, only Atta Holland knows. It seemed to me it must know everything. So I hung on every word when she sang the lullaby about it. As I listened to this song, I imagined this incredible river bursting with magic. Oh, it was amazing. And I wanted to find it so I could ask it about my magic. But the lullaby had a dark warning about going too far, and I couldn't get it out of my head. So that definitely didn't help me get to sleep.
Really? I find lullabies so soothing. I've never really paid attention to the words, though. I certainly never thought they could apply to real life. Now I have even more questions. Well, maybe it will all make sense when I'm older.
Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you again soon.